Welcome
to Mami Talk,
episode
3.
Yes, we made it to episode 3.
Number 3.
Yes, you're stuck with us now. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Support your local muscle mommies.
Yes.
All right. So, speaking of Celsius, you know, it has a little bit of caffeine in here, right? Last time, what did we say?
200.
200, right? It's minimal, but it does the job, you know, kind of.
I was actually looking forward to the Celsius all day just because I'm so tired. It's been a week.
It's been a hell of a week, especially for me because I got sick. I haven't gotten sick in a while. Don't worry, I got a COVID test.
It's not good.
Whatever. Anyway, I'm better, but like I did miss the gym, not because I was being a little wimp, but it's because I'm just, you know, I don't want to get other people sick regardless of what it is, you know? It's just a common cold, but even though I was like, okay, maybe I should just go to the gym and sweat it out. You know how there's like a stigma now, especially now. Everyone's like, stay the fuck home, which is true. So I was like, no, Michelle, like, even though you want to go to the gym, like, you're going to get someone sick. No matter if I wipe shit down. Like, you could do everything, but, you know, you're not perfect. So I have been feeling like, oh, my God. I barely went. When did I go back? Yesterday.
Yesterday, right?
Yeah, I went yesterday back. So I am mega sore.
But yes, this Celsius is really coming through because I just been feeling like kind of fatigue. But other than Celsius, what are kind of your go-to coffee drinks?
Oh yeah.
For
so
energy
yeah,
or...
anything with caffeine, right? So we talked about BioFreak last time. I like BioFreak, but like we said last time, we only use it on like a heavy leg day. Celsius, I kind of pretty much, I don't take it every day, but like if I do need like a little quick pep me up, I love Celsius. And then coffee too. Coffee. So I love coffee too. I love just your typical black coffee. There's several that I like. I don't like all of them from Starbucks, but there's this one from Starbucks that's from Guatemala, I think. This former client gifted it to me, and when I opened it
smells amazing.
Good.
Oh, yeah. I love the smell of coffee.
Me too.
Yeah.
My mom too. She came from El Salvador, which that's where I'm from.
Yes.
Fun fact. We have roots in El Salvadorian roots. But she brought this. Oh, I'm gonna bring you some. Mm-hmm. It's like a brown paper bag, and it had like the city. I forgot what city. But like I opened it and it beat the watermelon, the Guatemala one. Like I'm not even saying that because I'm from over there. I swear. I was like every time I go to her house, I'm like
the coffee aroma is my favorite.
Yeah,
like, it really is.
So I'll take it dark, but sometimes when I'm feeling like I want a little iced coffee, like I want to be like those cute girls, you know, like no.
Your little
yeah. So I have two that like are kind of healthy. Yeah, actually, I would say healthy. So. I don't know if you guys have been to Costco. I'll put it right here, but it's called Premier Protein. Mm-hmm. They're like these little shakes. They have chocolate, they have salted caramel, they have vanilla. I've only tried the salted caramel and vanilla. Both are actually good with coffee. So what I'll do is I'll just grab ice, put it in a cup, make my regular coffee, pour some, or sometimes if you have a Keurig, you can do like a shot. Mm-hmm. So I'll either do 2 shots or just regular coffee over the ice, and then I just splash some of that. Oh my God, better than creamer, and it has no sugar, and it has a lot of protein, 30 grams of protein, and it's so good. Yeah. Those are one of my go-tos.
That's a very good, healthy alternative. I haven't had a Premier protein shake in a while, just because I would normally buy it from Costco, and it's like, I don't want to buy a big box and not go through them. So my go-to coffee is just like black coffee. So it's either an iced Americano or a hot Americano. I do like my latte, so an almond milk latte with no sweetener. I just like, you know, the pure taste of like coffee or the espresso. Those are my go-tos. Also, if I'm from home, if I'm just making coffee at the house, I have the stovetop espresso. Have you seen that? It's like a stainless steel espresso coffee maker that you put on top of the stove, and it brews the coffee.
Do you need the beans?
No, you just need like a grounded espresso.
Oh,
so if you go to like any store, you can buy like the Bustelo coffee or anything that's already grinded. Yeah. And now I'll put an image of it. Michelle will put an image of it here of the little coffee kettle that you put over the stove. So that's kind of my go-to at the house, and I just add a little bit of brown sugar, mix that into the coffee while it's hot. And it blends really well, and it gives it that hint of sweetness. And then just warm up my milk.
Well, we're
and
feeling
that's
a little
it.
sweet because we like our shit dark.
No, but yeah, exactly. Like
No,
black
yeah.
coffee is like my go-to.
Yeah.
I really don't like too much of the sweetness in the coffee because I'm drinking it for, you know, the taste of coffee and not the taste of like caramel or whipped cream or anything like that.
We want the effects mainly.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like she said, like whenever we're craving like a little sweet, like I'll throw that little in, the Premier vanilla protein in. I will say, like, she reminded me because she's like mentioned ice Americano, like Starbucks. I will say that when I go to Starbucks and I am craving, like, I want something sweet, then I will get, I usually get a flat white, which is basically almond milk over coffee, but they steam the milk differently. That's the only reason they call it a flat white. And then I will add, like, one splash, I always say one pump of sugar-free vanilla syrup, just because sometimes I want a little bit of flavor. But not always, yeah, usually it's just black coffee, but just little ideas in case you want to sweeten up your coffee and maybe you have a sweet tooth and you don't, you know, you're like counting or you're into nutrition or
You're tracking your, you know, your calories.
Yeah. Speaking of, so today at the gym, I actually took my Celsius because I needed it and I didn't want to take BioFreak, and it's been a week and I'm like, okay, first day back after a couple days, and the Celsius got me through.
Yeah.
Yep. My little sweaty ass self was right there.
But let's talk about some of our gym favorites, our gym go-tos. Some of my gym go-tos, I have like different categories of go-tos of like actual equipment that I need for the gym. Some of it is kind of like related to like beauty and, you know, just things that I need to get ready. So to start off with are some hooped earrings. I'm actually wearing them today.
Oh,
these little tiny hoop earrings.
True, I always see her at the gym with those.
These are, thank you. These are specifically for the gym. I just wear them for that reason. I have other hoop earrings that I wear like regularly, but these are from the brand Pavoy. I get them from Amazon and they're really affordable.
They look cute.
It gives it that extra like look, especially like at the gym. I have my hair up in the bun, you know, slicked back.
At 5 a.m. like
very simple like look, and it's kind of like the hoops just kind of help you, give you that oomph, and you just need like, you know, she's that girl.
Yeah. And honestly, I know some people are probably going to be like, oh my god, it's the gym, you're going to get sweaty. But honestly, like, it doesn't, like, it's not wrong to look cute and still lift heavy things. Like, why not? I be seeing on Instagram, girls will literally wear acrylics and they're deadlifting more than me. So I'm like, okay, I can't even talk shit. She's deadlifting more than me. So it's like, you know what, to each their own. And I remember because I used to compete a lot, and I traveled with this girl who, like, that's what she does. Like, her job is to compete. So she's, like, way more serious about jiu-jitsu than me. I do more as a hobby. And I remember we were both going to compete, and she was, like, really nervous, and, like, we cope differently. So I was just kind of, like, chill. And then she was like, are you done getting ready? And I was like, yeah. She's like, you're not going to wear makeup? And I was like, no. I was like, I'm about to go down with some chick. Like, no, you know? But I didn't judge her because obviously, like, she wins more medals than me. And, like, she's actually, like, legit. Like, this is her job. So I didn't judge her. So I'm like, you know what? Like, everybody has their own little routine or whatever makes that extra step. Whatever gives you that extra confidence. Whether it's lifting someone heavy or fighting some chick. You know what I mean? But, yeah, she wore some. And then, like, she posted some pictures, and even though she was like getting down, like she looks so cute, you know, because there's always photographers there. So I'm like, okay, now like I wear like a little bit of blush here and there if I compete.
Do?
Like if I was
competing.
You're
naturally.
Well, I'm not wearing makeup right now, but I am wearing blush. That's my go-to. Like sometimes I don't really like to wear a lot of makeup because I recovered from acne. So now I just wear blush just to make it kind of like, you know, like that. What do you call it? That fake, natural fake.
What is it?
You told me one time.
The very natural glam look or whatever, but
yeah,
it's aesthetic, like it's a very clean girl look.
Clean girl look, I like that term. But it's like, I'm not wearing like foundation, just blush, but I don't know. I love that though, that she wears her earrings and she don't give a fuck. Like, I love that. I wear my necklace too. Oh, yeah. I always, when I work out.
What happened to your necklace?
It's in the trunk. Because in jiu-jitsu, we're not allowed to wear jewelry. So after I lifted, I like took it off, put it in the trunk, and then I want to go lift. One time I forgot. My professor was like, Michelle, like, are you a white belt? Like, did you forget? And I was like, oh yeah, my bad.
It's a hassle.
It's a habit.
Yeah.
It's a habit, but it's like, I don't know, for whatever reason, like she said, it's her must-have. Her earrings. For me, it's a necklace. I always have my little Playboy necklace.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
Well, yeah, my necklace has my name on it, Sarah, and I wear this every day. I never take it off, so I do wear it to the gym. I remember one time, one of the gym fields, I was doing what is it, front squats, right?
Yeah,
front squats. And so I was holding the bar like this, and I was fixing my necklace. He was like, "Fix your chain." And I was like, "It is my chain."
You're like, chill.
Yeah, I was like, it's...
Yeah, when I do front squats, I hate wearing like my necklace, but I don't want to take it off because I'm always scared that I'm gonna fuck it up because of the bar. So I always like to do front squats with a big shirt, and then but then it gets hot, so then I take it off because one time I was like sweating and it was sliding off the bar, and I'm like, come on, Michelle, come on. So now like when I do front squats, I'm like, I will wear a shirt over my necklace, but I won't take my necklace off.
No.
But what are your other go-tos? These are like must-haves.
Okay, so this is like how I get ready to physically go into the gym as I'm getting ready in the morning. So it's my earrings. I have this recently that I bought. It's like a pomade, like a hair wax.
Ooh.
It's called Big Head. I got it from Amazon also. And this is when I wear my of course. This is when I wear my hair like in a slick bun. And it helps like to keep the little hairs down because I have little like flyaways, like little baby hairs that come out, and it just gives you that slick look. So
without it looking greasy, because your hair doesn't look greasy ever when I see you.
I mean, maybe afterwards after I'm done working out.
No, but like, you know what I mean. Like
yeah.
I'm so scared of using like gel things because I feel like
Yeah.
my hair's gonna look greasy. But your hair never looks like that.
Well, it does look like greasy because it's a hair wax. So afterwards, but I wash my hair like every like 2 days, like right now, like yeah. But every 2 days, I kind of pretty much like wash my hair because it's maintenance. It's a hassle to have to wash your hair every day.
Oh yeah, it'll dry your shit out. Like
yeah.
Sometimes my hair, I'm like, oh my god.
So that's one of them. And then just chapstick I have to wear at the gym just because I feel like
that's a must.
Like my lips get dry. I think it's from like
dehydration. We gotta drink water.
No, I think we hydrate. I think it's probably like the pre-workout or because we're breathing so heavy that it's like yeah. So it's probably because of that reason. But I mean, I don't think dehydration because we drink a lot of water.
Yeah, I do drink water too. I try to drink the most I can, but sometimes it is dehydration if we're not drinking while we're working out, but also breathing right. Other things. But yeah.
And lastly are my Beat Pros. I have to have these Beat Pros when I work out. I don't like working out with AirPods. I used to use AirPods before the Beat Pros. And they just kind of get in the way. They don't feel secure. And with the Beat Pros, they have...
yes. Okay. They're like those things that go around your ear.
They like hug around your ear. And you can also control the volume by pausing and then volume going up and down. So I do love these because with the AirPods, I haven't like gotten used to them. Like
really?
Pausing, like the touch.
I'm an AirPod girl.
I know you are.
I don't know. I just like I haven't tried Beats. I'm probably gonna give them a chance, but I have tried the whole around the ear thing. But they always hurt me anytime it's around the ear. But it could be that it's because they were not the Beats brand and they were like some knockoff.
Okay.
That could be a reason. Yeah. But those are cute. For me, chapstick is a must. Like she said, I can't stand having dry lips because then for whatever reason, I am the type that picks at my lips with my teeth if I don't have chapstick. Because I'll be like, I feel it and it's like nasty and I'm like, no. So I need chapstick. If I don't have BioFreak, I have Celsius. It's just in my gym bag, whether I use it or not. That's what you're gonna find in there. Water, I always have water. I hate the water fountain from the gym for whatever reason. It grosses me out. I know that it's like high tech. It's one of the ones where you put the bottle and then it just goes. I don't know, ever since I was a kid at schools, everywhere, they freak me out. I just think about what could be in the pipes. Like, have you ever seen those animated pipes commercials? Yeah. I think that's what scarred me as a kid. Like, I seen a commercial for that shit you put down the drain and I was like, that's what's in a pipe? I'm never drinking from a water fountain. Yeah. But no, I can't do that. Okay, and then also for me is barbell clips. I don't know why, I just love them. It secures me. And I know some gyms, I think it was Gold's Gym, they have clips. Those the ones that hurt your grip. I used to have those. I hate those. It works your grip out. But some gyms, sorry, but like our gym, they don't have barbell clips, and people be lifting some heavy weight, and I'm like, sometimes I want to cringe. I'm like, dude, like, what if it goes off to the side? Like, I don't know. I need my clips. I'm a baby. Like, even if it's for like when I do shoulder press. I know my people are probably saying, but I don't give up. I just need my clip. It's like, especially shoulder press. I have a weak upper body. I'm like, I'm not gonna have one plate fall. I'm like, no. But barbell clips are a must, and cable rope. I know some gyms have ropes. Ours doesn't. You have to go to the front desk, and you have to like give your life to borrow a cable rope. No, I'm kidding. You have to give like your ID or your car keys. Actually, the people at the front desk there are cool. They would never like make me do that. But there's some new workers there, and like last time they made me, and I was like, I don't have anything. And then they're like, we don't have ropes. Whatever is there is there. And I'm like, there's nothing there. So I always have my cable rope, my barbell clips, and yeah, that's pretty much. Oh, chapstick, and then I do wear blush. That's my thing. Your thing is hoop earrings and chopsticks. Mine is a little bit of blush. And what was it?
Your necklace.
My necklace. My necklace is a must. Those are my must-haves. Everybody's different, but those are ours. All right. So I want to talk about what is like your favorite current, could be current or all time, favorite upper body exercise that you like to do, and then favorite lower body exercise.
Good question.
Right? Okay.
Yes.
For me, I'll start. My favorite upper body exercise has changed because it always changes, but
it should change.
I just want to, for the record, I still think the back is sexy. Okay, the back is my favorite body part. But favorite exercise, like the motion to do it, I will say that it is, oh God, this is tough. Why did I do this? It's tough. But okay, it's probably going to be controversial, but
what is it?
I really, for whatever reason, oh my God!
I knew it!
I love the barbell bench chest press. Like, I used to hate chest day, and it's like, I don't know, just the feeling of pushing with your titties. No, I'm just kidding.
She's like,
No, for real, like, it's a different type of sore. Like, I'll be in the shower, and I'm like, oh, they're fine. They're like, ooh, ooh. You know, there's a shelf. No, I'm kidding. But
she's like,
I like the feeling.
Top of them.
Wow! It's my own food trait. No, I'm kidding. No, I will say though, I still think the back is the sexiest part of the body, but like as the motion, just doing it, it feels very empowering, I think. But it was a very close tie between lateral raises, just because I know it burns, but it's just also empowering because those fucking shits burn.
But yeah, oddly enough, you're saying that. I love like working out shoulders. I think it's because when you're watching your form and you're doing like lateral raises, you're like, you're like, damn, my shoulders and my traps. I'm like, yeah, buddy. Fuck yeah. Yeah.
So lat raises are yours.
And like they burn. Like as a gym, like fuck yeah, like they burn. But you're like, I'm gonna keep going. I was like, my shoulders are growing.
They fucking burn off. I feel like that's one of the exercises that burn the most. Like out of everything that I've done, like
it's that motion, just because it's like
you're really using that small muscle to like lift that anyway.
Talking about chest, I need to do more bench press, but I think I don't do it as often because I don't have a spotter.
Spotter is essential. Oh my God, Sarah. Okay, because she has a personal trainer now, which I get it. Okay, that's actually important. Do something good for you. No. Because she used to come to the gym every day at 5 a.m. So when I needed a spotter, she was there. But on the days that I do chest press, she goes with a personal trainer. So I also used to her spotting me. And then she wasn't there. So I was like, I have had like funny spotters. Oh my God. Okay. The first one, when she was gone, this guy, I didn't know who to ask. And I was like, I'm not going to just not try at the gym just because I don't have a spotter. I'm like, and one of the things that I've overcome actually is to ask for help. I'm like, I'm not gonna progress just because Sarah's not here, you know. I could have asked the gym Theo that day. I don't know why. I don't know why. I was
ask Theo's
out of my head. It's because you threw me off. No, I'm just kidding.
Sarah's not here. I can't.
No. So I asked this guy next to me, and I was like, hey, can you spot me? And he's like, okay. So whatever, he's spotting me, and then he goes on like my last, and I told him, I was like, I'm only doing 6. Some people don't get the way I work out. It's like I do a 12, 8, 6. And then he's like, no, you can do one more. He's all, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. And I was like, I was just there like, all right, I'm done. I was like, yeah, thank you. I was like, I'm done. You had that. And I was like in my head, like, I know, like, no, I'm not trying to go for 10. I don't want to exhaust myself right now. Like, oh my God, it was just hilarious though. Now I texted Sarah and I was like, I miss you. That was that. And then the other spotter, I think that one was my fault because I didn't wake up early. So I went later. Now, so I can't blame her, okay? See, I'm being honest. That one, I texted her immediately because, again, I look around and I was like, fuck it. Like, I'm not going to not do my workout, you know? So I asked this guy, he looked decent, like glasses. He was a little built, whatever. He didn't look like anything, like a creep or whatever. So I asked him, and he goes, yeah, I got you. Didn't talk, didn't say anything. And then he was like, good job. And I was like, okay, thank you. And he's like, I think you can do more. I'm like, I don't know, like, this is what I'm doing, whatever. So I was done there, and I go to incline, and then he comes up to me and goes, hey, do you mind if I jump in with you? And I was like, oh my God, no. But in my head, I'm like, don't be a bitch. I looked at the other incline benches. They were taken, or there was no bar there, too. So I was like, he helped you, Michelle. You can't just, you know. So I did. I was like, okay, fine. But the whole time, he was just trying to talk to me, and I was like, I'm trying to work out. Like, what did I tell you? He asked me. He was like, where do you work? What do you do? What time? Do you always work out? Do you always work out alone? Like, do you work out alone? Do you always come at this time? And at first, like, I would answer to have a conversation, but then I would just give him short answers because I'm like, I would be like, no, I come at 5. That's early. And, like, just things like that. And then, what did he say? He goes, when do you hit legs? I'm not going to tell you. And if I did, I don't need you as a spar. Like, no. Oh, God, I was so annoyed when I texted Sarah, and she was just, like, cracking up. But, yeah, don't worry. My third spotter was actually nice. Remember I texted you? I was like, success.
The ideal spotter.
The ideal spotter. Yeah. He said yes, was quiet, cordial, didn't try to hit on me, wasn't asking me annoying questions, wasn't like, let's go. Didn't touch the bar. Perfect. Didn't say you could have done more. Like, nothing. He was like, that's it. And I was like, thank you. And he goes, no problem. Walked away. I was like, thank God. So, good spotters are out there.
But that's my favorite story. I know I wasn't there, but I could just hear in my head, like, someone just, like, you know, cheering Michelle on. Just like, go, 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 go.
Dude, I was like, what is happening? I was like, no. But anyway, bless that guy's heart. Oh, we didn't go over lower body. What's your favorite lower body?
Lower body?
Yeah.
Ooh.
There's so many.
I know. There are. I'm gonna start with what I hate. I know you're asking me what I like. I'm like, let me tell you what I hate.
The human mind.
I'm gonna tell you, yeah. Tell you what I hate. Like, hip thrusting.
Oh,
I fucking hate it.
It's tough.
It is.
But it's so good for your booty.
It is, but it's like, I feel like I can't concentrate. I'm like,
squeeze
the glutes, and then pick up the weight, and I'm like, fucking breathe, and I'm like,
yes,
I can't.
That's the one I have the most issues with breathing.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier, breathing. But I feel like hip thrusting, you need to, like, once you're lifting the barbell and you're lifting the weight, I feel like my body goes into shock, and I'm like, like, I hold my breath, and I'm like, okay, breathe, and then I'll squeeze. And I'm like, it's too much going on, and I can't focus.
Yeah, I remember when I would do hip thrusts with Ryan, because I would always wear like a sports bra on this. So when I would go up, you can tell that I would just lose my breath, and like my whole abdomen would go up, and he'd be like, you're not breathing right. So then I'll be like, so it's like sucking it in, and it's like, and then it feels fucking heavier, and you're like, holy shit. But it's tough to breathe at the same time and also work on your form at the same time. Yeah. It's like, hold up.
Yeah.
But, no, yeah, hip thrust is tough.
To answer your question, I think my current favorite would be just like barbell squat.
Yeah, your traditional barbell squat.
Yeah. Just because I'm trying to go up, like trying to, you know, get a new PR. I'm like, okay, I need to go up in weight. And I think that's my current favorite one right now.
Good. I like that one. My favorite one, God. Okay, we'll start with least favorite. Okay, oh my god, I have so many least favorite with leg days. It's so weird. Okay, my least favorite, but I do them because they're so good for your butt, is the deficit reverse lunge. It's when you stack plates, or if you have like a step, and you put your front foot on it, and then it's like a reverse lunge, right? But because your foot's so high, you want your foot to go back. And then you don't want your knee to go past your toe because you're not working quads. You're working butt. So you gotta make sure your knee's behind your toe. And then when I pick up my foot, it's like I have to make sure that I'm picking it up with my glutes and not my rear foot. So it's like all this concentration, and by the time you put your foot back, you're like, oh shit, that was one rep. And then it's like the fact that you gotta do each side. I always do them on the Smith machine. Because if I do free weight, I can't go as heavy because then I feel out of balance. But when I do Smith machine, because I know the bar's there, then I can go back. But that's my least favorite because I'm always out of breath and it takes a lot out of me. But anyway, least favorite. It's good for the butt. Like I'm telling you, like the butt grew with that one.
Hip thrusts are good for the booty. But...
Hell yeah. My favorite is gonna have to be, what is my favorite? Oh, I know. The rack stiff deadlifts. So, you know the cage? Okay, so I always lower the little bars. And then basically stiff deadlift. So it's like, you know how for RDL, it's a slight bend to the knee? So for the stiff one, it's like literally you don't bend your knee at all. So it's like working your hamstrings. Oh my god. And then when you rack, it's called like rack because like you gotta let the barbell touch all the way down, touch, boom. So it's almost like a deadlift, but you're doing it stiff leg. You're not bending your knees. That one's so good. Like it burns good though. It's not like the reverse lunge one where you're fucking. It's more of like like you can feel your hamstrings like working. I love it. I love that one. One of my favorite ones. But yeah, that's it.
Oh, you know what else? It's what is it called? The hex.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Trap bar. The trap bar deadlift.
Trap bar, yeah. But we don't have a trap bar.
I know. Dude, our gym sucks. No, I'm kidding. You know which one had 24-hour? One day you should come with me because I have 2 buddy passes. Okay. So anytime you want to go, they have the trap one. Yeah, I can deadlift more with that than like free weight.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't know. I'm like, it's fine.
Me too. But yeah. So, okay, I want to go into something a little fun. Favorite Instagram influencer. I have so many, and they always change. But my current favorite is Angelina Maldonado. So if you guys don't know, you can look her up, and I'll put her page here. But dude, that girl is like fucking jacked. Like she's shredded, but she has muscle still. And she's young. She's like, I think 23.
23.
Yeah. So I feel like usually young girls they're natty. They're not on steroids usually because they're young. And I think like you have to be a certain age. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure she is. Her personality is very wholesome. And I honestly think that the reason her body's like that is genetics and work ethic. Because she's always at the gym, like every day. Like every day she's at the gym. Dude, I know. Killer body, sweet personality, amazing, hard work ethic. Like she's at the gym every day. And the reason I say genetics is because both of her parents are bodybuilders. And they're like, they've been on stage and everything. So I'm like, there you go. They pumped out an Olympian child. No kidding. But I like currently, like I'm obsessed with her. And like, I just like always look at her workouts and she's amazing. I love her. And then as for guys, it's always going to be, I will call him Papa Noel. I know it sounds like Santa Claus, but his name is Noel. I can't pronounce his last name. Is it Noel Diesel or Dazel? I don't know. But he's the creator. Yes, he's the creator of Rise. I think he is. I don't know. Of Rise supplements. or he must be.
Cohen or some shit.
Some shit, whatever. He's always repping that brand. But I love him because if you just look at him without hearing his voice or speak, you just think like, oh my god, he's like really big. Like you just think he's that typical Instagram influencer guy that's just self-absorbed meathead. No, he's like really nice. Like he gives good advice and is not your typical meathead. Like he gives really good advice to beginners and he motivates and yeah, he's just awesome. He's really humble. He'll literally like teach you about like lifting straps or like anything minimal. But those are my two.
Cool. For gym influencers, I have a few of them that I follow for different reasons. But my current favorite one that I always look up to for motivation and gets me pumped is Annalise Cruz. She is under Instagram Annalise Cruz and then X at the end. She is Latina. She is Dominican and Puerto Rican. Yeah, you sent me her Instagram and we're like, I love her too.
Yes.
Yeah, she is.
Some of you guys might know her.
Mm-hmm. I think she's like from New York or somewhere on the East Coast. But I fell in love with her because of her videos. It's like, I love how it's her music selection, the edits, and that's what really gets me motivated when I see I'm like, oh, I'm fucking pumped. Like, let me go to the gym right now.
Right, you watch the video, like, let's fucking
yeah, it's like 11 p.m. No, but I honestly do really look up to her for like motivation, if anything. And it's also, I love that she's Latina. What else? She is starting to post more vlogs and doing like more of like what her day looks like. So I'll be tuning in to see what she can share and what I can kind of pick off of that. But I do like her workouts. I like not only that, but when she posts her videos, she has different slides of her workouts and the details. She'll put like a description like what she's doing, her workouts. So I like that too.
Yeah, I love her too. She's great. She's very informative, and that's what I like too. Something that we want to talk about too is we like to measure our progress, and most of the times we'll do it if we're like on a diet or like we have macros to follow, right? We're trying to build muscle, and I think it's important to do that, right? If you're gonna do that, if you're gonna try to build muscle and you want to lower your fat, like in the beginning. So me and her, we'd use like body scans. There's like a bunch, InBody, DEXA, I can't remember the other ones, but basically like me and her, we were talking about the other day how like sometimes it can be so frustrating when like you're like doing everything and it looks the same where it's barely moving like a little needle. But also like something to kind of like remember, even like myself, I have to remind myself is that like the scale, and some of you probably don't even have body scans. You weigh yourself and you're like, I'm not moving, or like it looks the same, or it looks like I gained weight, right? So it's just like a reminder that the weight scale, the scan, it's not the only measurement you need, right? Sometimes if you were to take that all away and like you're actually hitting it and you're doing it right, then you notice though that like other things are changing, like your mood's better, you're sleeping better.
Yes.
And your clothes are suddenly fitting better, right? And then it's also because some people that don't have those scans at home or whatever, they don't realize that it's not fat that they gain, it's the muscle that they gain. So it could be a little confusing in the beginning, right? So it's like, don't let the numbers stress you out. Don't let it become an obsession. It's okay to check in. Yeah. But it's like, don't let it become an obsession, because I know I've done that before, and it's like up and down sometimes, and I'm like, oh my god. So just like a little reminder that like focus on the positive things, right? Like, what about your strength, right? Like, oh shit, like, you know what? I have gotten stronger. Last time I could only pull 135. Now I can do 155. I didn't even realize that. Or like, oh my god, like I was wearing shorts and I noticed my quad popping out. Things like that. Your moods change, how your clothes fit.
And actually, you kind of reminded me of that the other day. I think we were texting, and at this point, we just sent each other like voice notes.
Yeah.
There's so much to text that we're sending each other voice notes.
Yeah.
And we're talking about progress, and Michelle had to remind me of that progress is not just like the number on the scale or on the body scan. It is how your clothes is fitting. And I think that day I tried on some jeans that I don't really wear. They're like my least favorite. but on my quads, they were like tight. Like they fit like very snug. But on the waist, there was like room. I could fit like 2 fingers. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, she had reminded me of that. And that's so true because we focus or we stress so much on what's on that scale or body scan. And I'm guilty of that. Like I shared, I'm with a personal trainer, and so when I was doing my check-ins with him, it's through a body scan. So I would check in. I think I was stressing out also on that number and focusing so much energy on that number that now that I'm like, I kind of just like, forgot about it. I threw that idea out the window. And like Michelle said, you have to focus on everything else. The progress is not just a number on the scale. It is overall like exactly how she said, your mood, your sleep, you get better sleep and you just feel happier, or
even your energy levels. It's like crazy. You're just like in a better mood. Your energy's better. Just everything, your strength gains.
Yeah.
And how she said how your clothes fit. Because if you constantly check the scale, it's going to become an unhealthy obsession and it's going to hurt your progress because you're going to be so focused on that, and then you're going to end up doing the wrong things and you're not going to even have fun with it when it should become like fun, or it should be like gym therapy. It shouldn't be a place of stress, So focus on those things, right? Your energy levels, your mood levels, are your clothes fitting, your strength gains matter too, man. Sometimes I like to document that. She'll always be like, what are you writing? Who are you texting? Actually, this man came up to me and he goes, man, someone's got you busy, huh? And I was like, I didn't even have to show him, but I flipped him and I was like, I just track my progress. Okay, sir? Mind your business. No, I'm kidding. No, because I like to do that because sometimes I'll be like, what did I end up with last time? Especially when I bench. Because then it'll push me and I go, you know what? I think I could have 5 more pounds. I've been doing this way for... and then you realize, like, one day you're like, oh shit, this was easy. I've been doing this. And it's like, that's even more of like a satisfaction win for me. And it's like how she said, like, when she tried her pants on, that's like a freaking big moment right there. Like, hell yeah, that's what we want. We want that slim waist, big booty. Well, for us, those are our goals. Everyone's goals are different. The guys are probably like, nah. Which, thank you to the muscle poppies at home or in their car at the gym listening to the potty.
Yes.
I've actually had some really sweet messages from me and Sarah both. So we appreciate you guys listening to this wherever you are. Some of you mentioned you're at the gym or you're in the kitchen cooking, and that makes us so happy. Yeah. We just want to talk with you, all right? No. We want to have a little chit chat, but yeah, hopefully in the future we can have more things for you guys and guests. That'll be something we want to do.
Yeah, we're working on it. Okay, guys, we're going to get into a little bit of a story time. Michelle?
Yes. Okay. So, we're going to talk about catfish. It's kind of gym related. That's why I want to talk about it. But basically, I got catfish for the first time. This is why I can't do dating apps. Like, I'm just so over them already. But anyway, I'm going to make this long story short. But basically, I matched with someone on Bumble. I think it was Bumble, yeah. Mm-hmm. And this guy, his name was Nick. Maybe I'll beep it out, maybe not, whatever, because he's fucking fake. But
yeah, anyways, he catfished us.
Yeah.
Us.
I know. We went through it together, But his pictures were already kind of like, they were just too professional, suspicious. Like, they're just the type that you would just take to post on Instagram, but not to send to somebody. Anyway, this guy said that he worked in the fitness industry and that he was into wholesale. So he would sell gym equipment to big gyms, right? Anyway, we started talking on Bumble for one day. And he was like, you know what? I'm not on Bumble a lot. Can I have your number? Usually, I never give my number on dating apps for the fear of this very reason, which my dumbass was just like, fuck it, Michelle, live a little. So whatever, I gave him my number. Then we texted the next day. And whatever, like, he was very, like, he wasn't, like, like that dead air, that, like, boring texting. Like, it was actually kind of good going. But then he started calling me babe. And it was like the second day. And I remember like, I texted him and I was like, I don't know, this just doesn't feel right. Like, it's just moving too fast and he wants to call me already. And I sent her the pictures and she was like, you know what, he kind of does look like it might not be him. So I tried to reverse Google image the pictures. Nothing came back. It would just like be of like stores of like where to buy it, the shirt he was wearing or something. But he was just bad. Like he would send me pictures like, oh, it's been a busy day, I'm at the pool. And it was like some like seductive photo of him coming out of the pool. I'm like, this looks so like this is fake.
Yeah.
And then she was like, FaceTime him. Because I made her look for him on Instagram, but we didn't find him. So I was like, okay. So I was like, you're right. He wants to call me. Fine, fuck it. Like, let me FaceTime him. So I go, hey, I know you want to call me. I'm like, but how about let's FaceTime? At this point, I was kind of like already like, about him, but I wanted to just catch him in the act. And I was like, you know, I want to see your face. Like, I just said something fake like that. And he goes, oh my God, babe, like, I would love to see your face, but I have an Android. And she was like, bing, red flag right there. And I was like, okay, he has an Android. That's a red flag in itself.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, she was like, he has an Android. That's a red flag. So, whatever. So I was like, okay. And then, were you the one that gave me the WhatsApp idea? She goes, bitch, tell him to get a WhatsApp. And I was like, you know what? You're right. Like, this freaking girl is smart. And I was like, okay. I was like, hey. I was like, that's not a problem. Like, why don't you download WhatsApp and we'll FaceTime there? And then he was like, I don't have room on my phone. He's like, but I guess I'll delete some stuff and I'll FaceTime you at 4. Yeah. And then I asked him, I go, you know what? I'm going to just fucking ask him. Usually, like, I hate asking people, like, what's your Instagram? Like, whatever. And I was like, hey, what's your Instagram? He's like, I don't have a personal one. He's like, why would you want me to look at other girls on Instagram?
You said that?
Yeah, I thought I sent you that. You probably like,
I don't remember.
Well, you're already thinking he was catfishing. But anyway, I was like, okay, like, anyway, like, that's so irrelevant, you know. Anyway, I go, oh, I'm like, it's good for business. I'm like, especially here in the fitness industry. He's like, well, I actually have a business Instagram account, but not personal. And he gave me the name. It was like, I forgot what it was called, like, @Rep Fitness Equipment or something.
It was like some abbreviation.
Yeah. So we both look it up, and this page has like over 200K or 100K followers. And I'm like, and it looked legit. Like, we were both looking at it, but there's no pictures of him. And that's something he told me. He's like, you're not going to find any pictures of me there. And I was like, okay. And he's like, well, anyway, I'll download WhatsApp and, you know, FaceTime you for whatever. I didn't care. At that point, I was already over it. I'm like, this guy's catfishing me. I have a gut feeling. So I was like, you know what? I was like, I still, like, me and her, like, we were over it, but we still wanted to catch him.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm going to message that page. So I messaged that Instagram page, and I'm like, they're not going to respond to me. They have like 100K, but I still did. I go, hey, do you guys have a sales representative by the name of Nick? And they didn't respond to me until the next day. Mind you, he never called me at 4. Never got back to me.
His little appointment he had.
Yeah. And the next day, the company basically told me that they don't have a guy that works for him under that name, that they only have, and that the only person that runs their Instagram page is not Nick. So I was like, I fucking knew it. And when I went back on Bumble, he had unmatched me and all this stuff. And he knew that I was fucking onto him. But prior to this disclaimer, the thing that freaked me out was that literally on the first day, he told me he had Bad Bunny tickets. You know, the recent ones with Diplo? And I was like, I had just met him. I don't care if it's Bad Bunny, but I'm not going to go with a stranger I just met who I have an inkling might not be him. I'm like, what if he chops me up, you know? And I had friends that were like, little, go with him.
Who said that?
Fucking Esmer. But
I was like, was it Ryan?
No. Actually, he was one of them too. I was like, yeah, go. It's my buddy. But yeah, Esmer, Ryan, y'all party crazy, okay? You gotta calm down. You don't want to end up chopped up, okay? And I had just seen the Dahmer series. So that had my levels. Like, you know what? Thank God it came out around that time because my levels wouldn't have been that up. But whatever, I caught him, and then I was telling her that it was so crazy. I was taking a nap, I woke up, and then I have smart TV, so it'll give you suggestions from every streaming service. And then it gave me a suggestion called Online Dating Horrors. So of course me was like, clicked on it. And then this one episode, this FBI agent was talking about this website called binverified.com. She was like, oh, it's very legit. Like, I recommend people that are dating online to use it. So I put his phone number in, and it turns out it was this like 45-year-old Asian man that lives in SGV in the area, and I was like freaked out. But I reported him to Bumble, and they were actually very nice about it and like took care of it. But isn't that fucking crazy? I could have died, or maybe he just wanted to lie or something. That shit was crazy.
Yeah.
But me and Sarah were like little FBI agents.
We did it together. Yeah. We got through this one together.
We got this one together. After that, I was scarred. I was like, I don't know if I want to go anywhere.
Yeah. So the point of the story is to pretty much, just to be safe out there, you know, ask those questions, do your research. But actually, someone that I went on a date with called me an investigator.
And I was like, spot on.
And I was like, well, I mean, that's kind of spot on, right? But so this happened before Michelle's catfish story. So I shared this with Michelle after the fact. And so I went on a date with this guy. The first date was great. It was a fun date. I wasn't really feeling him, but I was like, it was fun. I had a great time. So that was like a Friday or a Saturday. And, you know, the next day we do the whole good morning text, yada, yada, yada. And he told me that same day that he was going to fly out to Hawaii for a wedding. And it just didn't seem right to me. I don't know, something seemed off. I think it was like the communication was weird, the way how he, like, you know, the way he formatted the text. It's something like in my gut told me, it just seems weird. But again, I wasn't really like feeling him like that. But I was kind of like, well, whatever, that's cool. Like, sure. But the way he told me, he said that he almost forgot he had to attend this wedding. And that he was like, oh, his friend called and was like, hey, are you on your way? And he was like, on my way where? He's like, to the airport, we have a wedding. You're my +1. And it just seemed like very...
What a bizarre.
Yeah, very bizarre, very off. And I was like, so whatever he told me, I was kind of like, yeah, sure. But deep down inside, I was like, I don't really believe this. And it doesn't really matter to me because didn't really want to entertain it too long. But he had asked me if I wanted to grab like dinner that following Monday and go catch the sunset and, you know, drink some wine. I was like, that actually sounds very nice. Like, I'm down for it. And so that Sunday before we meet up, he sends me, we're texting, and he sends me a video of him supposedly in Hawaii.
I believe he still did that shit. Like, what?
He sends me this video, and it's like him catching the sunset. He's at the beach, and it's like the sun setting. He sends it over to me, and I think I'm going like to bed or something. So I'm on my phone, and I get the message, and I just kind of like it, and that was it. And something about it just was not sitting right with me.
I think our radar, how like a woman's radar
radar,
is
it's like your intuition is like telling you something. So if you guys know on like iPhone, with iPhone users, if you're sending each other videos or pictures, you can look at the information on that image or video.
What do you know?
So something like wasn't sitting right with me. So I clicked on that little information icon of the video. And guess what? The video was date stamped September something of 2021. So like a year ago.
Oh my god.
And I was like,
this fucker didn't know who he was.
So I was like, well, why would you send me a video from last year? It just doesn't make sense. So yeah, that was the point of that was the video, and I still went out with him the next day. I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna like go out with him, that's it. I'm not even gonna bring it up.
She took advantage of those drinks and sunset.
I was like, I want to catch sunset. I want something romantic like this, you know. So once we're watching the sunset on the date on Monday, again, like I said, I wasn't gonna bring it up. I wasn't even gonna make a big deal about it. I was like, I'm just not gonna see him again.
After the date, I love that.
But I'm just gonna like text him like something like it's not working out, whatever. And we're having wine, and at this point, I'm feeling pretty good. And I'm like,
liquid courage.
Let me bring the shit up. So we're watching the sunset, and as we're watching, we're staring into like the beach, and we're like looking for the sunset. I kind of look over at him, and I forgot how I approached it or how I said it. But I said, "Oh, I was like, that video you sent me yesterday, that was of you in Hawaii." And he was like, "Yeah." And I was like,
he had a chance. He had a chance.
And I was like, okay. And I was like, that was from yesterday? Because he flew in that morning, apparently.
Oh, I can't just believe he kept going with it.
So he was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, it wasn't from 2021? And this guy was like, no. And I was like, okay.
The audacity of these guys.
So I just look away, the sun sets, and then he starts kind of like laughing. I look over at him and I'm like, what's so funny? And he was like, oh, you investigate. And I just kind of like looked at him and gave him that like
ding ding ding
look, like, well, what do you want me to do? I don't know you, and how am I going to investigate? But again, the point of the story is to just follow your intuition, follow your gut, and do a little bit of investigation.
Honestly, your intuition is just like the closest thing to the guidance angel, Mm-hmm. They say intuition has been around for like ever before, like, what is it? Before our ancestors were, whatever. All I know is that science says that intuition has been around since the caveman era. So it's like, just listen to your gut feeling. But yeah, so anytime we're like, we have something or like an itch on something, we're like, we put our little FBI caps and we're like, let's see. So send us who you wanted to investigate and we'll do it.
I got you.
No. But yeah, those are our little stories. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and transition into Q&A. So we actually got 2 questions this time. We forgot to ask you guys throughout the week, but again, send them in. All right, if you have any questions, send them in. So our first question is from @IsaacDesign. Check out his designs, by the way. He's really cool. But he asked, have you ever encountered a quote-unquote white knight at the gym before? If so, how do you handle them? So if you guys don't know, a white knight reference, according to Urban, okay, if you didn't know, is basically someone that will come in and rescue you, right? Figuratively speaking, right? They'll come in and rescue you. They are a knight, a gentleman, I guess.
Or gentle.
And then Urban was kind of mean about it. Was like a simp, but I mean, they can be nice. So anyway, I'm trying to think. Has anybody done something like a white knight behavior to you at the gym?
To me, specifically, I can't think of one, but I know you have. Remember that story you told me that there was like some guy just like trying to get crazy with a girl?
Oh my god.
And you jumped in?
I was the white knight. Okay, so I was the white knight in this story. Okay, yes.
Not to make it about Michelle.
But no, I'm kidding. I'll like add a little, a sword and everything. I'm just kidding. But yes. Okay, so oh my god, yeah, I forgot about this. So I was at the gym around 9:30. So it's kind of, or 12, I don't remember, but it was one of those crowded times. But it was at the corner of the gym. If you guys go to the same gym as we do, you'll know that there are decline benches, and then right across are the area where you do leg raises, right? So anyway, I had just finished leg raising. I go to the decline bench, and I'm doing my decline crunches, and then this girl next to me comes to the decline bench next to me, and she brings a dumbbell. So I don't know, maybe she was supersetting, whatever, but like superset is when you do 2 exercises back to back, right? So she was doing something with the dumbbell, and then she was going to get on the decline bench. I was already on my last set, and then I just see this guy, because it's a mirror that's in front of us. I see this guy come behind us with like a mochila and like jeans and like a sweater, and I'm like he's not even in proper work attire. But anyway, I don't want to judge. Yeah. I don't want to judge because I don't know where he's at in life, right? Some of us can't afford gym clothes or whatever. But anyway, I don't know, like he just came in all like rushing and mad, and then he was like looking over to us because we were using the decline benches. And then he just like waits for like 2 seconds, then rushes right to the ground. He goes, are you using that? And she's like, literally, like her thigh is by the bench. And I'm next to her and she's like, yes. And then, like, she literally had to take her headphones off first. She was like, what? And he's like, are you using that? She was like, yeah. And then he goes back, and then whenever she's doing something with her dumbbell, then he comes again and he goes, I'm just gonna use it real quick. And literally, like, almost shoves her, like, stands in front of her. And at this point, everyone in the gym is staring at him because he's being so rude. And she's like, takes her headphones off again and she goes, excuse me, you're in my personal space. He's like, well, I don't see you using it and I'm gonna use it. And then I'm like, oh my God. And she's like, no, I'm literally gonna use it right now. It's like, dude, like, come in on time. Like, or fucking do something else. Come with a plan B if your shit's taken. Don't be rude. So I was just like, it was my last set and I felt like, usually I don't like to get into drama, but she was happening next to me and I was like, oh hell no. And I was like, start. No, I'm kidding. I didn't. Yeah. But I was like, excuse me. I was like, if you have a problem, I was like, just go to the front desk. Like, leave her alone. He's like, but she's not using it. I was like I said, if you have a problem, go to the front desk. And he's like, huh. And he just walks away. And I was just like, oh my God. And we both looked at each other and like, we like rolled our eyes and just like couldn't believe that guy. But yeah, he didn't come back and bother her. But it's just like, bro, like, come earlier. Or like, this is why I always say, have a plan B. Like, if I see a squat rack taken, I'm not gonna go up to someone and go, what are you doing? You're not squatting. Like, when they could probably be resting, they're supersetting. Doesn't matter. Like, they got there first, you know? That pissed me off, but I don't know.
Clearly, Michelle's all freaking
I was like, ready to be like, I mean, honestly, like, I really wanted to just be like, get all crazy, but I'm like, no, Michelle, like, this is your home. People will remember you. So I just kind of had to do the whole little customer service, like, go to the front desk if you have a problem. But yeah, so I was a white knight.
And the scenario she was. Okay, second question is from one of our Theos, is at il_Cubano. And his question is, how do you train through injuries and keep consistent? Well,
that's a good one.
That's a good question. Again, we're not doctors, so this is something that you would need to, check in with your doctor or primary care. But what I can say is working through injuries is to be patient. An injury is going to take time depending on, what kind of injury it is. Be consistent, check in with your doctor, and, ask those specific questions. Ask them, let them know you're physically active, you enjoy the gym. What is an alternative that you can do? Yeah,
because I feel like a lot of us, especially like go to the gym, we have that like athlete mentality where we're like, we're just gonna push through it. But then in doing that, you're just gonna hurt yourself more and then take yourself out of the gym longer than when you could have just done it for a short while and then gotten back in.
Right.
Personally, because I train jiu-jitsu, I'm more susceptible to injuries. So I had a meniscus tear injury on my right leg from a competition. And oh my God, like I was like, I can't live without jiu-jitsu and I still need to work out. So obviously, the doctor gave me some options, right? Like he was like, you need to stop training for 6 months, which I know you're supposed to take their advice, but I didn't. He was like, we can do non-invasive surgery, or he's like, you could just let it heal, but you gotta stop training for 6 months. So instead of, which this is probably, like, again, we're not doctors, do your own, at your own discretion. But for me personally, I could not live without jiu-jitsu. So instead, what I didn't do was I didn't do barbell squats. I didn't do anything heavy like that on my leg for about 3 weeks. And then for jiu-jitsu, I didn't, if some of you are familiar with it, I didn't play a lot with the lower ground game. So I still did a lot of your traditional jiu-jitsu, but I wouldn't do like double legs. I wouldn't do knee bars or ankle locks. So it's like kind of like working around it, right? Yeah. So sometimes doctors, because they don't go to the gyms themselves or they don't train the sport you're in, whether it's basketball or jiu-jitsu, obviously they're going to just tell you don't do anything, but maybe you can speak to someone that's been through it and they can give you an alternative, right? He did give me was like a sheet of like what is it called? It's like sports injury. God, I know there's a word for it, but there were like a list of exercises that you can do. So I did do some of those to strengthen my hamstring. And then Ryan, he's like certified like to the T. He's been in the fitness industry for 10 years. So he helped me a lot too when we go to the gym. So something that would strengthen, the areas around your knee for me personally was like we would do a lot of hamstring work. So I was like, oh, I could still do legs, with it. So always basically seeking the right information, whether it's from your doctor or someone that has a certification in that field, especially someone that's into sports injury, right? So do your research, and you can still be in the gym and just be patient, because sometimes it is going to be one of those things where you're just going to have to sit it out. Like I said, I had to sit out from doing legs up for 3 weeks, but then I was back on it and I was stronger. Had I gone and done legs for those 3 weeks, I could have fucked my shit up even worse and then been out even longer and then really not trained.
Yeah.
So it's like you just gotta be patient. It's really that athlete mentality that we all have. But also seeking out the information on what can you strengthen, because we don't know what your injury is or whatever it is. So based on your injury, they can give you something that can maybe strengthen the areas around it, right? A common thing with knee problems is sometimes it's because we don't have strong glutes or hamstrings to support our knees. So sometimes because of that, you're gonna injure yourself in the area. So it's like always doing those things, right, to prevent things too in the future, right? And honestly, stretching is so important before and after. I am guilty of not doing it after sometimes, but before I always, before I wouldn't, and then I would be like, oh, I remember I hurt my shoulder when I wouldn't stretch before shoulder day. I was like, oh, it was bad. Like, I was like, I couldn't even shoulder press.
Yeah.
So it's like, you have to do those things, like, even when you don't want to. Like, you have to. Like, it's just going to prevent that injury, So being smart about it and researching.
Yep. Yeah, I agree with you on stretching, because I think I shared with you a while ago. I was getting like some back pain. I think it was like upper back pain.
Yeah.
And Michelle actually, did you stretch? And I was like, no. I was like, I'm guilty of that.
It's because we don't want to do it, and I get it. But
yeah. So stretching to prevent those injuries.
Yeah, it's just so important.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right, guys. Before we end today, we want to end with something positive, something that Michelle and I are kind of working on right now, and the word that we came up with is challenge. So challenge, and how that applies into the gym. So challenge can be, the way that I interpret that is doing something that's a little bit uncomfortable and challenging mentally and physically to your body. So if that is like going up in weight, doing a new movement that makes you feel very awkward, but still doing it because you know it's going to make you stronger, not physically but mentally, pushing through that.
Yeah. So we chose that word. It's a really good word because, like she said, right, whether it's lifting a heavy weight or even in life, right, challenges at work, sometimes it kind of sucks, right? Like, lifting that heavy weight doesn't feel good at first. Something challenging at work doesn't feel good, but then once you get through it, once you're able to lift that, once you're able to overcome that at work, you feel so good after that you did it. You feel so good about yourself. And honestly, like, if nothing were challenging in life would be boring. What if everything was just perfect and pretty roses? Then it's like,
you're staying in your like safe zone.
Yeah, you're staying. I love that she said safe zone, because a lot of the times we're all used to being comfortable, right? Sometimes we do have to get out of that comfort zone in order to grow. And you've probably heard this a lot, whether it's in a book or on social media or on a podcast, but it's so true. It's out there, it's everywhere, because everybody knows this, that if you stay comfortable, you're never going to grow, Sometimes that weight is comfortable and you want to stay there, but then it's like the only way to grow is you're going to have to get uncomfortable. What's the worst that can happen? You can't lift it? That's okay. You try again next time. You know what I mean? Yeah. So things like that. It's okay. And it's uncomfortable because we've never done it before. I think if we were to both think about something that was challenging, like in the past, that is not challenging now, we could have remembered like our first day when we were probably like, oh my God. Kind of going back to what we said in episode 1, right? It's uncomfortable to start your gym journey in a commercial gym because you're like, oh my God. But now looking back, like, hell yeah, I remember my day when at the gym. I was fucking like, but now I feel so comfortable there. But it was definitely, in order to get there, I had to be uncomfortable first, right? So always finding ways to challenge yourself. Look at challenge as a way to grow, right? That way you don't stay stagnant.
Challenge is very much needed. And again, it does not just apply to the gym, it applies to everyday life, in your career, your personal life, just challenging those like things that just are going to get you out of your comfort zone.
Hell yeah. I remember I used to know, I had a coworker that used to work with me, and he would always say, if it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. And I really like that, because I'm like, gosh, that's so true. Like, if it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you, then we're staying the same, I feel like a lot of the things that are positive that have happened to me in life, I wouldn't have gotten them if I wasn't challenged in the first place. Like, right now, my job is editing and shooting video or whatever. If I wouldn't have put myself out there and like gotten through those internships and those crazy shoots that I've been to, like if I would have just been home and scared, like, oh, I'll just do it for fun, like I don't think I could make a living out of it. I probably would have never have gotten the job that I have today, but it's because I challenged myself. So I really like to use that everywhere I go. It's like, okay, I know I could overcome this, and it's gonna be hard at first, but I can do it. So just a reminder, you guys, to just any challenges that you're going through in life, just know that you're going to learn something out of it. And if you're going through something tough, just remember that in the end, you're going to become not just maybe the physical part is going to be great, but even mentally stronger. You're always just going to get better and better. Leveling up in life. But yeah, anyway, hope you guys enjoyed episode 3. Again, send us your questions and everything. But yeah, so farewell.